With the popularity of the Osmo Pocket 3 constantly increasing, it's no surprise that DJI would release an upgraded version for content creation and professional productions. A dynamic range of 17 stops and a 60mm f1.8 lens with a full-frame aperture equivalent of f6.3 on a compact gimbal camera are pretty bold statements. But the Osmo Pocket 4P does not only feature a medium telephoto optic but also a 20mm f2 wide-angle prime with an all-new 1-inch type CMOS sensor. DJI has also implemented a digital zoom up to 240mm that can also make use of the focal lengths in between the two lenses. The 3-axis gimbal camera can record up to 4K 60p in 10-bit using different color profiles such as normal, D-Log and D-Log2, plus up to 4K 240 frames per second in slow motion mode. These files can either be saved onto the internal 103GB storage or a microSD card. For automated framing and following, the device features multiple tracking options at different focal lengths. For manual framing adjustments and monitoring from a distance, the camera is compatible with a DJI FrameTab remote controller. The 4P weighs 230 grams and has an internal battery capacity of 1545 mAh that can be expanded with an optional battery grip. The camera can either be turned on by rotating the screen or even be set to record immediately after powering on once the screen has been flipped sideways. The touchscreen gives access to all settings and displays essential info such as current focal length, exposure, and even white balance. Below the monitor is a zoom button that can instantly switch between the most common focal lengths, covering the range that most professional standard zoom lenses offer. Located on the right side is a custom button that can be assigned to multiple functions in the menu and will adjust depending on how often it is pressed. For example, axis lock or digital zooming with a joystick. The two lenses and the two flat lock profiles are certainly the highlights of this camera, especially for professional use. The 20mm f2 lens has a minimum focus distance of 20 cm and has access to both 10-bit D-Log and D-Log2. This lock profile increases the dynamic range to a maximum of 17 stops, which is similar to cinema cameras and can easily match with the latitude of many mirrorless cameras. The so-called low-fig technology ensures that much more highlight information is retained when filming overexposed or when dealing with harsh contrast in bright areas within the frame. The same goes for underexposed or dark areas of the image, which are then easier to restore in post without losing information. The 60mm medium telephoto lens has an aperture of f1.8 equivalent to f6.3 on a full-frame camera. The close focus distance is 30 cm, enabling shallow depth of field and background compression, which is not just useful to get closer to subjects without having to physically move the camera, but also to get noticeable bokeh separation. The 3x prime can record in 10-bit D-Log with an estimated maximum latitude of 16 stops. Colors can either be matched with D-Log2 footage from the main lens manually or simply by using DJI's conversion LUTs. This also results in an overall improved low-light performance that does not depend on digital stabilization but rather mechanical from the gimbal, meaning the correct shutter speed can be used even when moving the camera quickly without having any stabilization issues. When color correction and grading is not needed, the camera also supports normal color with additional options such as beauty filters, which are probably best suited for casual vlogging when full auto exposure is enabled. A total of 6 film tone presets are also available to get a specific style in camera that looks less digital and doesn't require expert knowledge. The Osmo Pocket 4P can be linked with different microphones, including the Mic Mini 2 and other DJI Osmo audio devices, and allows for equalizer changes, the so-called voice tone presets. Different tracking modes are also available, which are especially useful when using something like the 6x digital zoom, because otherwise it's very hard to follow a subject manually with a joystick. So this is not just good for walking and talking shots, but also for quicker and faster motion. When it comes to accessories, DJI offers different kits and optional gear such as a magnetic fill light that can be attached to the gimbal axis, a 0.75x wide-angle lens adapter, a lineup of filters, plus a remote controller with a display to fine-tune framing and other settings. If I want to film myself simply a locked-off shot without any tracking, then the FrameTap remote controller is a good idea because it has a touchscreen, it has a joystick and a record button, which means it's very easy to frame myself from a distance. With a well-executed dual-lens camera design, DJI shows that technology can still evolve even in such a compact package. The zoom and high dynamic range, plus the multitude of compatible accessories for all types of shooting scenarios, make the Osmo Pocket 4P not just a tool for professionals who need a portable but capable tool, but also for creators who are looking for an advanced camera with fully automated modes and reliable tracking.